Many leaders think more training will fix misconduct. That is a myth. When a problem happens, the first response is often to schedule a class. We believe that if we just teach people the right way to do things one more time, their behavior will finally change. We gather everyone in a room, we show them a presentation, we check the box, we feel like we have done something important. We tell ourselves we have addressed the issue, but this approach is like putting a small bandage on a deep wound. It covers the surface but does not heal what is broken underneath. The reality is that systems matter more than training sessions. Training is not useless. It can provide essential knowledge. It teaches the rules of the game. It can introduce a new skill or a better technique. But training only provides information. It does not, by itself, change what a person does when they return to their daily work environment. The real world is more powerful than the classroom. People are influenced far more by the system they work in every day than by a few hours of instruction. They learn what is truly expected of them by watching their peers. They learn by watching their supervisors. They learn by watching their leaders. Imagine an officer attending a class on de-escalation techniques. The instructor shows videos. The instructor leads role-playing exercises. The officer learns the proper steps and can repeat them perfectly. But the next day on the street, their supervisor praises them for closing a call quickly, even though it involved unnecessary force. The officer sees a colleague get promoted for having high arrest numbers, not for careful decision-making. The message from the real world is loud and clear. It tells the officer that speed and stats are what truly count, not the de-escalation skills they just learned in a classroom. The training is forgotten because the system rewards something else. This is the core of the problem. We send people into a system that is often misaligned with what we teach them. We tell them to follow one set of rules in training. We implicitly reward them for following a different set of rules on the job. The daily pressures are what shape behavior. The informal rewards are what shape behavior. The unspoken cultural norms are what shape behavior. Until we acknowledge this reality, we will continue to invest in training that delivers disappointing results. We will keep blaming individuals for failing to learn, when it is the system that has failed to support them. It is time to look beyond the classroom and examine the workplace itself. Training cannot fix deeper problems on its own. 4 hidden forces are often at work, silently dismantling the lessons learned in any classroom. The first is misaligned policy. A policy is the official rule written in a manual. But if that rule clashes with the unwritten rules of daily operations, the unwritten rules will always win. For example, a policy might mandate detailed, thorough reporting for every incident. But if the team's culture values getting back on the street quickly, reports will be rushed and incomplete. The training on proper reporting becomes irrelevant because the operational pressure for speed is much stronger. Policy on paper is useless if it does not match practice on the ground. The second force is weak supervision. Supervisors are the most critical link between leadership's goals and the team's daily actions. They are supposed to be the coaches who reinforce good habits and correct small mistakes before they become big ones. But what happens when supervisors are not trained to coach? Or worse, what if they are too busy with paperwork to observe their people? When supervision is weak or inconsistent, bad habits take root and grow. A new skill taught in training will quickly fade if no supervisor is there to encourage its use, provide feedback, hold people accountable for applying it correctly. Good supervision makes training stick. The third force is misaligned incentives. People naturally move toward what is rewarded. Incentives are not just about pay and promotions, they also include informal rewards like praise from a boss, respect from peers. If an organization says it values teamwork but gives the biggest bonus to the top individual performer, it creates a conflict. For instance, if leaders talk about the importance of community trust but only measure and reward the number of tickets written, officers will focus on writing tickets. They will do what the system incentivizes, even if it undermines the stated goal of building trust. Finally, the fourth force is an unhealthy culture. Culture is the collection of shared beliefs and behaviors that are considered normal within a group. It is the way we do things around here. A toxic culture can quietly protect misconduct and silence those who want to do the right thing. It might create an environment where mistakes are hidden instead of discussed and corrected. Training can teach people about ethics and integrity, but it stands no chance against a culture that tolerates corner-cutting or rewards rule-bending. Culture is shaped by the actions that leaders consistently model, reward, and permit. Without a healthy culture, even the best training is doomed to fail. The word accountability is used a lot, but it is often misunderstood. It is not just about having a disciplinary process for major failures. True accountability is about consistency. It is about how the small things are handled every single day. When the rules are applied differently to different people, the system breaks down. This is the problem of inconsistent accountability. One person receives a formal warning for being late, while another, who is a favorite of the boss, gets a friendly joke. This inconsistency sends a powerful message. The rules are not real. They are flexible, and they depend on who you are. This inconsistency destroys trust and makes any formal training feel like a hollow exercise. Employees are smart. They watch everything. They see who gets away with things and who does not. They learn that the official policies are not as important as the informal, unwritten rules of the workplace. When they see a high performer break a safety protocol without consequence, they learn that results matter more than safety. So, when they later sit in a safety training session, the words of the instructor feel meaningless. The real lesson was taught back on the job, where inconsistency showed them what the organization truly values. Clear expectations are therefore vital for building a culture of consistency. Leadership behavior is the most powerful driver of an organization's culture. It matters far more than any training curriculum or policy manual. Employees watch their leaders for clues about what is really important. If a leader talks about the importance of work-life balance but sends emails at 10 p.m. every night, the team learns that working late is what is actually expected. If a manager preaches customer service but rushes through client calls to meet a quota, the team learns that speed trumps quality. The small daily actions of a leader set the true standard for everyone else. What leaders do is infinitely more impactful than what they say. Leaders set the tone through their everyday choices. They model the behavior they want to see. When a leader admits a mistake, it creates a safe environment for others to do the same. When a leader holds themselves to the same standard as everyone else, it builds trust and reinforces the idea that the rules apply to all. Conversely, when a leader cuts corners or prioritizes short-term gains over long-term integrity, that behavior is seen as permission for others to follow suit. The culture of an organization is nothing more than the shadow of its leaders. Training cannot fix a problem that is being actively modeled by the very people in charge. So, what is the solution? The answer is to stop looking for a single, simple fix. The problem is not a knowledge gap that one more training class can fill. The problem is a systems issue. We must reframe how we see misconduct and performance problems. Instead of asking, who needs to be trained? What in our system is causing this behavior? This shift in perspective is critical. It moves the focus from blaming an individual to examining the environment that shaped their actions. It is a more difficult approach, but it is the only one that leads to lasting change. An integrated approach is one where all the parts of the system work together to support the right behaviors. Think of it like a car engine. For the car to run smoothly, fuel system, electrical system, cooling system. If one part is broken, the entire engine sputters. In an organization, training, policy, supervision, incentives, culture are all interconnected parts of a single system. When they are aligned, they create a powerful force that guides people toward the desired outcomes. When they are not aligned, they create confusion, frustration, failure. This alignment makes good behavior the path of least resistance. When policy is clear, supervisors coach effectively. Incentives reward the right things. Doing the right thing becomes the easiest and most logical choice for an employee. For example, if the policy for handling a customer complaint is simple, the supervisor is available to help. The employee is praised for resolving the issue thoughtfully. The system is working. The employee does not need to guess what is important. The system guides them. In this environment, training is no longer an isolated event. It becomes a tool that reinforces what the system already demands. Building this kind of aligned system requires leaders to step back and look at the whole picture. It means asking tough questions. Is our promotion process rewarding the behaviors we claim to value? Do our supervisors have the time and skills to actually supervise? Are our policies creating unintended consequences? This is harder work than just scheduling a training class. It requires honesty, courage, willingness to change the fundamental structures of the organization. But it is the only way to build an organization where people consistently do the right thing. Not because they have to, because the entire system makes it natural to do so. To move from theory to action, leaders need simple, practical steps. Building an aligned system does not have to be an overwhelming task. It can begin with a straightforward review of the key components that shape employee behavior every day. The goal is to identify and fix the misalignments that are currently undermining your training efforts and creating confusion. Here is a short checklist leaders can use to begin this process. It is not exhaustive, but it provides a clear starting point for building accountability that actually works. First, align policy and practice. Take a hard look at your most important policies. Do they match what actually happens on a daily basis? Checklist item. Review your top 5 most violated policies. Ask your frontline employees why these rules are not being followed. Checklist item. Identify one policy that creates a conflict between two important goals. For example, safety versus speed. Rewrite it to be clear and practical. Checklist item. Eliminate rules that are outdated or no longer serve a purpose. Simplify your policy manual so it can be a useful guide, not a dusty book on a shelf. Second, strengthen supervision and clarify expectations. Your supervisors are your most important agents of change. They must be equipped to coach and guide their teams effectively. Checklist item. Ask your supervisors what their biggest obstacle is to providing regular feedback. Remove that obstacle. Checklist item. Create simple, one-page documents with do's and don'ts for critical tasks. Give these to supervisors to use in daily briefings. Checklist item. Train your supervisors on how to have difficult conversations. Give them the skills to correct behavior constructively, not just punitively. Third, adjust incentives and model the right behavior. People do what gets rewarded, and they watch what you do more than what you say. Checklist item. Review your performance evaluation criteria. Do they measure the behaviors you want to see, or just the easiest numbers to track? Checklist item. Publicly praise an employee for demonstrating good judgment, even if it led to a less impressive statistical outcome. Checklist item. Identify one behavior you want to see more of. For the next 30 days, make a conscious effort to model that behavior yourself, every single day. This is the most powerful step of all, you know? The time has come to stop blaming training for problems it was never designed to solve. When misconduct occurs, our first reaction should not be to schedule a class. It should be to ask, what in our system allowed this to happen? This is a fundamental shift in leadership thinking. Move beyond easy answers. Confront the complex reality of how our organizations function. Change is not about blaming the frontline employee, it is about leaders who design and manage the system. Leaders must take ownership. Begin today. Pull out your policy manual, your performance evaluation forms, your incentive plans. Look at them with fresh eyes. Are they aligned? Do they send a consistent message about what truly matters? Talk to your supervisors. Ask what they need to be better coaches. Most importantly, look in the mirror. Are your daily actions reinforcing the culture you want? Your behavior is the blueprint others follow. Model the change you wish to see. The rewards are immense. Aligned systems mean less liability. Performance improves when expectations are clear and people are supported. Employees feel valued and respected. Morale rises. Turnover falls. For public safety agencies, the outcomes are profound. Stronger community trust. Safer outcomes for officers. Safer outcomes for the public they serve. These are the hallmarks of a healthy, effective, honorable organization. Do not fall into the training trap again. Do not treat the symptom. Fix the system. review your policies, strengthen your supervision, align your incentives, model the behavior you expect. This is the real work of leadership. It is the only path to lasting accountability and an organization that does the right thing. The work is hard, but the results are worth it. Start now.